Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Back again with another pouch video and another bit of content in this new little setup that I've got. Again, if you like this, if you don't like this, I seem to be trying out a few different ways in which I'm holding the camera, where the microphone is. Please feel free to leave some comments if you think that I need to change some things. That'd be great. It's all part of the Moorlander learning curve. So today we are here to look at the Tasmanian Tiger Tac Pouch 6. I'll just get straight into it. This is the Tac Pouch 6. As I usually do, I'll go around the outside and the sides, and then we'll go into the inside, show you the things, and if there's certain things that I'd probably change about it, then I'll go through those. So dimensions wise, running from the top to the bottom is 19 centimeters. Running from side to side is 18.5 centimeters. So it's roughly square once you've got it packed. And from front to back is 5 centimeters. In imperial measurements, that's 7.4 inches by 7.2 inches by roughly 2 inches deep. The pack weighs, with nothing in it, roughly 250 grams. It's not a particularly heavy pack. It's constructed from 700D Cordura, which you'll find that a lot of the videos that I've done about the Tasmanian Tiger packs, pouches and different things that they've made, they go for that 700D Cordura because it's a perfect match between the abrasion and resistance and strength that you get from 1000, and also the lightness that you get from 500. So the 700 roughly between those, it does make them really strong, but also really light as well. On the front, you'll see that there is a hook and loop system that you can put morale patches onto it. There are 5 rows of Molle Pals webbing on the front, so you've got 3 rows themselves that you can hook your system into, and then there's the gaps in the middle. You can tie things onto that, and the top one here, hopefully you can see that, that's part of the hook and loop system as well. YKK zippers all the way around. There's a front one here which opens up into a large section inside that you can put things into. You really do have a big option there. It goes to the full length of the bottom, and it's the full length of the width, and it's roughly 1 inch off the top, or 3 centimeters roughly off the top. All of the zippers have 550 paracord loops sewn onto them, and they're just really easy to grab. The zippers themselves, as I mentioned, are YKK. They're stitched in reverse so that you can help to reduce the particles or dust or dirt from getting inside. And I believe these are also the RC YKK zippers as well, which again are made in such a way to help them to stay strong. Nothing on the sides other than the zip that you can see into it, and then we've also got the official Cordura logo on the back. On the bottom, there's a grommet to let out water just in case you do get water in there. As I mentioned in a previous video, which hopefully you'll be able to see by clicking up there, I was in a large downpour. I had to walk to work, which was roughly 20 miles. The first 10 of those miles, I was in torrential rain. It was coming down very heavy. I've not been able to find if these have any sort of coating on there, so I'll triple check to see. If it is that I find it, I'll make sure I note something here, but what I can tell you is the contents that was in here stayed nice and dry. This is one that I haven't used. I've actually got 2 of these. The other one, which I'll tell you as I go through it, it's actually strapped to my pack at the moment, and I've just got this one as a spare. On the back, you have Tasmanian Tiger's Molle system, the straps, which are built into the pack. Super strong, super resistant. They've got box stitches. The press studs are nice and strong. There's a bit of resistance. They're a bit of a chore to click them in, but again, I've mentioned this in the past, that in my eyes is not a bad thing. They're definitely not going to come open, and you need 3 slots in order for them to work. to finish off, on the top here there's a port, so if you have some radio equipment inside here, there's a port that you can have the antenna or the aerial coming out of the top of that. I guess if you could fit a hydration system in here, I'm not even sure if you can get one small enough, but maybe if you'd got a cantina that had got a straw or something that you could bring out of the top of that, you could probably fit that in here as well. I've not tested that out, but going on the size of this, you know, it's an educated guess that I think you could fit that in there, and you could have a hose coming out of the top. So that's the outside. Moving on to the middle, zips, super easy. You can pull them down. The spring opens straight away. Now, this bit I'm going to take out for a split second, but I'm going to come back to this because again, I think Tasmanian Tiger, they've gone that extra distance that some other manufacturers don't. And I'll come back to this in a section. I found out more about this today. I've been using it for something completely different, but I found out some more today what the dimensions of this perfectly are for. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So when it opens, it is a clamshell opening, but what Tasmanian Tiger have decided to do is to reinforce this section here, so you've got roughly an inch at the bottom that it doesn't open. You can pull it open, and it's not a difficulty to pull it open, but it's not a full clamshell. It goes down 90% all of the way down. Now, as this is the front of the pouch, I'm going to call this the front flap, and as this is the back of the pouch, I'll call this the back flap. On the front flap, you have a large section at the front here, which is a large pocket that is the full width and goes all the way down and is roughly an inch from the top. It's got a velcroed bit at the top, so if you want to keep something in there nice and secure, you can do. And instead of having to pull this, you've got a little tab that you can pull, or if you've got some keys or something like that, you can attach your keys to that. In the front, again, this is just for illustrative purposes only, you can see that there is a two large bits of elastic webbing that you can put stuff into. It fits a set of playing cards on one side, and it fits an Altoids tin on the other side. So I mean, a lot of us have these sort of things that we keep stuff in, whether it's a fire starting kit or just bits and bobs. So you can fit those in both sides. So you've got two large elasticated sections. If you wanted to, you could use them separately, but I think most of us will probably have something in there that goes all the way down. On the back flap, you have similar again. I'll just roll that over. While I'm doing this, you can also see here that the stitching for the pack on the inside, the stitching is really nice. It's very clean. Underneath here, there's nothing that's been left, so you can see that a lot of attention to detail has been made, and all of the bits that are stitched also have reinforcing on the inside as well. So the back flap, which I have here, you have similar, so you can see I have just a standard compass in there, so it fits both of those. You can also fit an Altoids tin in there, but then behind there, if you can see, you then have two smaller elasticated straps, so you can fit in smaller items, and these go from the bottom all the way through. So if I was to take this out here, hopefully you'll be able to see that we have the one large section that goes all the way across to the middle, and then we have the two smaller sections behind. So what you have similar to this is you have two larger sections if you wanted to put something larger in, but then you also have four smaller sections behind that for smaller items. I'm trying to lean this forward, hopefully you can see this here, rather than me leaning it this way and you not being able to see because of the light. Finish off really on the inside, you've got the manufacturer's label, and then you have two D hooks at the top, or two D rings. Now I've left these to last purposely, and that's because of this little pouch that I mentioned earlier that I took out and I thought I'd get back to. This pouch is a perfect size and hanging pouch if you have a Lucie, which I believe it's pronounced Lucie. It's spelled Lucie. I'm sure that probably stands for something. But if you have a Lucy night vision system, this fits perfectly into that. You can put it in, close it up. You've got a nice large section of hook and loop there, so it's not going to get open, and this keeps it all separate from all of the other things. So if you need to get to this quickly, if you're on operations, if you use this in the military, and you need to get to your night vision system quickly, it's all in there. If you're then out on a day operation and you don't need it to be in there, instead of having to take it out and this left be in there, this left still back in the pouch, you can use the D-rings here that you can hang this from within the pouch. Hats off to Tasmanian Tiger for this. As I've mentioned before, I'm not in the military, but I've found that this has extra uses. This is one of the other reasons that I mentioned that this is the one that I've not used. Whilst out and about, whilst foraging, whilst trying to find bits, you come across something that you think, yep, that'll be great, it's nice and dry for a bit of tinder. I know you know where I'm headed with this. You can bang it straight into here. It keeps it separate from all of the rest of your stuff, so that you're not having to worry about bits of dirt getting on things and getting stuck in your tools and stuff. You can put it all in here. This does have some water resistant qualities. I know that purely because I've put loads of dirty stuff in the unclean version that I have, and it's not affected any of the stuff that's inside. And then instead of having to try and get all of this out when you get back to where you've camped or somewhere like that, if it's all closed up and it's in your pack like that vertically, or like this vertically, you can open it up, undo the Velcro, take it out, and then whatever you've got, your tinder, your foraging, you've got bits of mushrooms or whatever you've got in there, you can put that to one side, close your pouch back up, and carry on with your day-to-day camp activities. This is brilliant. And it's only a small little thing. It's not something that's probably taken a lot to think about, but for the military side, being able to put your night vision system in there and being able to take it in and out of the pouch if you need it, I can imagine is extremely beneficial. But also from the civilian side, for EDC, it's great. You can bang a load of stuff in there, not have to worry about it. I've probably just made the camera shake then, haven't I? Sorry about that. Earthquake. And then take it out, move it away, and just carry on with your day-to-day stuff. Is there anything I'd change about it? No, I've had to think long and hard about this, because it really does come down to the minutiae of the pack, or of the pouch itself. And it's tiny little things. So I probably would prefer this if the reinforcement was brought down to here so that you could open it in full. It's not a massive thing. It really isn't. In fact, it's just tiny. The other thing would be if there was a way that they could have put some D-rings here and here, so that if you got a shoulder strap, you could take this off and you could use this as a separate pouch. A lot of these have been designed for military and for police use. And I think in EDC, in the bushcraft kind of community, to be able to have something there, some D-rings that you could use this whilst out and about with a shoulder strap, I think that would probably be useful. And last but not least, and I think I mentioned this in a previous video on another pouch that I tested, have a look here, you should be able to find the link for that. It would be useful if there was just a small grab handle on the top. Three minor things which do not take away from the fact that this is a very good little pouch. So I'll leave a link in the description to the Tasmanian Tiger site that you can have a look for more information on this little pouch. As I've mentioned in previous bits of content where I've looked at and tested some Tasmanian Tiger kit or some gear, if you use the code across here, which hopefully you'll be able to see is capital M, double O-R, capital E, capital D, capital C, and you go to this link here, which is the Tasmanian Tiger moorlander.co.uk link, you will be able to receive 10% discount on all purchases. To finish off, as I always do, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Those likes really help. They get me, allow me to work out what sort of videos and what bits of content you prefer. Subscriptions are always great, and hopefully make sure you click on the little notification so you'll be able to see as soon as the videos come live. And what I've also been asking this year a little bit more than last year is if we can start to share some of my content. That would be great. It would also help to build my community here as well. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, tend to be on Instagram a little bit more if you search for Moorlander EDC. Great, thanks again. Cool, stay safe, stay Moorlander, stay EDC.